Mate,
Uh,
good shout. That was banging. You know, I felt like I was back fucking going for it. Like, you know, it was one of those ones where, you know, you could, I don't know, do you ever go to, this is quite niche, I suppose, but do you ever go to Underworld, the club in London? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can imagine that going on there and it being a floor filler, as it were, I suppose. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think it was interesting, like, you get that kind of metal where it's classed as metal, but it's very overproduced. That was like almost like a house song and then a dubstep song at times. I think like Enter Shikari do like really, really well, and then you got like the bands like Hadouken and this and stuff like that. But this is kind of, I'm not sure if it's quite on that same level, but it was still a good listen, and I had
It's an
fun.
interesting mix, isn't it? Like you've got that sort of like dubsteppy vibe in it, and then you've got the metal guitars and the drums with it. And then the Dayseeker singer pretty much sang throughout the whole track. He was the singer pretty much, and he was and his voice is very, very unique. But his voice can be put onto pretty much an R&B track or a soul track or whatever it is. He's got a very lovely, flowy sort of voice. But
yeah.
the fact that you've got dubstep, metal, and you've got like his lovely flow voice is kind of a strange sort of like combination, a fusion of all of them. And I quite liked it. The dubstep ending was awesome. Like for me,
It was cool.
That's the main reasons why I chose this track specifically, because I was like, I know this dubstep ending's fucking awesome.
It reminds me of Limp Bizkit, you know, My Generation, where it's like DJ Lethal, bring it on, and then it just goes into that like drop, and everything goes mental. And it definitely had that vibe to it, like kind of builds up to it, and then it drops, and then it like that's sort of like the outro to the song or whatever. But yeah, it was definitely really fun. Like it's a fun track. If they were playing at Slam Dunk and that came on, I think we'd all enjoy it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's a great like party song, I think, you know, like you're saying, it's Slam Dunk. If it came on, it'd be fun. Or sort of like after a gig, you know, when you're walking out, maybe buying some merch, getting a beer at the bar, whatever. Like after you've had a great time at a gig, that would be a great song to have on. But that said, I don't really appreciate this kind of metal because it's sort of like metal bands trying to keep their metal persona while also cashing in on the pop side of things.
Yeah, okay.
So it reminds me, for me, it's kind of like, you know, Brendan Urie becoming a pop star, or, you know, Fall Out Boy doing Centuries and stuff like that.
Okay.
In a heavier style, but that's how I interpret it. You know, because it's sort of like you're trying to sort of keep where you came from, but at the same time do a very catchy song. And I don't know, what was that band you guys chose a couple episodes back, you know, that was sort of like another fun, sort of pumped up.
Oh yeah, it was
song.
One Morning Left. Sinners are Winners. Yeah.
It reminds me kind of that, which to me is a bit sort of like Hollywood Undead, you know, that kind of.
No, I exactly know what you're talking about.
You know, like
it's not
good, but like.
I completely agree with you. I mean, it's a song that I would listen to, not over and over, but if it came on shuffle, I might listen to it, and etc. But I don't think I would actively go out and listen to this over and over again. I think the main reason why is just because it feels like it's just it's almost forced in that sort of way. I don't think there's a future for this sort of vibe.
I think it's good to have that one song every now and then, and I don't know what the rest of their stuff is like.
I don't know either.
Yeah, so I mean, I can't really judge, but you know, it's like this theme that we've been seeing with metal, and I don't know, I just feel like other bands do it better, and they maintain more of their character, because like, for example, While She Sleeps, Architects, Bring Me the Horizon, they're all doing this electronic stuff, but I just feel like this is more generic, you know, this could be anyone. But yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I don't want to take a massive dump on them, you know, it's I'm just very critical with how I look at music, I guess. I consider very few bands and very few songs to really be art, I guess. You know, sounding super hipster, cocky, and piece of shit. But, you know.
Totally get it though, man. Like, I think it is one of those songs which, a lot of people are doing, and it is done well to a point where you enjoy it. But I do think it's overproduced. It does feel like a song for kind of like past 7 o'clock on the radio. Do you know what I mean? 7 o'clock in the evening, like on the rock shows and stuff like that.
Radio
but
rock show or something.
radio,
Yeah, like on Kerrang or whatever.
Yeah.
It'll pique enough people's interest that it probably would do well. But it's like, would I go back and listen to it? Probably not. It was interesting though, but I get like that's the kind of way that a lot of this is going. So,
Ben, can you redo it? I think I don't know. Maybe it was me, but I think it kind of
it
paused.
blocked off. It came off for a second. Yeah.
Oh, the internet here, shit. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought.
Oh, just do time out and then go again.
But what? Okay. Yeah, I think like it was a song for the radio and stuff like that. It was overproduced, and I think it would do well, while on the radio. And it's one of those songs which is great for that. And if it came on, I'd listen to it quite happily. But I'm not going to actively listen to them or their catalogue. So it's a good offering, by them, but. It's probably not my cup of tea, I suppose. But it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, come on, I'd enjoy it, but I'm not going to listen to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I think it's like I was saying earlier, like if it came on at the end of a gig, you'd kind of have fun with it. Or if it was at a bar, you'd like it. But
yeah, exactly.
It's just that song that, you listen to on the radio at like a venue every now and then, whatever it is, and you're like, okay, all right, sounds cool, but you don't actually then look up on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if this song came up on shuffle and I had all my mates round having drinks, etc., it's the kind of song that you want kind of in the background. It's kind of, you don't want to be you don't want to actively listen to this track. You want it kind of there, and it gives you good vibes. It's a good beat, good dubstep kind of breakdown bit. Energy, catchy chorus. So if someone heard it, they went, nothing for me. So it's catchy, and those sort of things. But I don't think it's not something I would personally actively constantly listen to compared to some other tracks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It reminds me of Centuries by Fall Out Boy.
Oh, mate, 100%. In that sort of aspect, I don't Centuries I don't listen to actively either. But if it came on shuffle, I'd be like, yeah, all right, maybe I'll listen to it. Or if it's in the background, yeah, okay, cool, it sounds good. But yeah, no, what would you guys rate it as? Jacopo, what would you rate it?
So I feel like I've been very harsh with everyone today. I just feel like everything's quite generic and, not really original. So I don't know. I actually really enjoyed the last songs, despite them being kind of, like unsalted pasta. I feel like this is if we're doing these analogies, I guess it's sort of like uncooked pasta. No, I'm kidding. It's no, you know what it is? It's just the boiling water. Like when you don't have the pasta, it's just the boiling water.
No, I actually.
So it has no substance, but it's really energetic and hot and stuff.
If this was food for me,
and salted, but just it doesn't have the substance to it.
Yeah.
It's like going to somewhere like Bella Italia, or those typical shitty English restaurants that try to do Italian, right? It's like going there and asking for lasagna, and it's like you get out and it's like, yeah, it was alright. I enjoyed it. It was good, but I wouldn't go again and have the lasagna.
Yeah, like it was dignified for once, but it's like, eh.
Yeah, exactly. Meh. Exactly. I enjoyed it. If there was nothing else available, then I'll go back to that restaurant. But I don't think I would actively choose that restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. So back to rating. This is tough. I was about to be very mean. 5.
5.
5.
Wow, that's actually lower than I thought you'd give, to be fair.
I thought I was going to be harsh, but you've gone in.
I was gonna go even lower, but I decided I'd be nice.
I was going to go 5.5.
5.5. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it is. It was good enough that, like, I mean, 5.5 is still good. It's a song that I would listen to if it came on. I think that's the defining point with it a little bit. And so it's good enough that if I was in Wonderworld on a Friday night and they put it on, then great. But I would never really listen to it actively. So yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, personally, I've gone down the route of probably rating it a 6.5. I mean, because I like the song. I would listen to it again. I wouldn't actively listen to it, but then if it came on shuffle, I probably would listen to it again. And it has the elements of a song that I do like. So I would say 6.5 for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nice but then again, it's comfortable for me. It's a same thing. Goes back to that being comfortable. And if this song came on in the background, I'd be in my element. Absolutely in my element.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's like these pop punk bands, right? I find that now there's rarely ever a really great pop punk band. There's the Story So Fars and stuff like coming through, but there's so much other stuff that fills the gaps, and I enjoy it if it comes on and I just listen to it, and that's the one time I listen to it and it goes. But I think I think this harks back to what we were saying earlier, but to be great within these genres that I think we all kind of enjoy, it's going to be tougher, so it's not a bad song, just I enjoyed it, but
yeah,
it's just fine.
I feel like
we're
the three of us were quite honest with our ratings when it comes to we all know what we're looking for. We're looking for something that is original. We're looking for something that is a breakthrough as an artist, or something that hasn't not only just been done before, but something that's done well, something that hasn't really that we've heard very often of. And I think this feels like a song that I've heard again lots of times.
But not necessarily just that. Like, for example, if I'm looking at like the first song, like St Vincent, I'm also looking at what she's done in the past and how it relates to that. Like, if there's been an evolution, there hasn't, you know what I mean? It's like, I try to give ratings based on what I know about people and based on what I know about bands as well. The ones that I don't really know much about, like in this case, I have to give a rating based on what I hear. But I try to consider the circumstances, I guess, for each song. And I think it's fair to, for example, if someone's like a 15-year-old putting out their first song, you have to rate it differently than if they're 40, an established artist, and have put out 6 albums or whatever.
Completely.
St. Vincent is 38, I think, and she's been, famous for 12 years, 13 years. So you have to rate that differently from someone who's on their debut, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, I get you, and I think that's right. It's great to have that sort of structure when it comes to rating, because I don't think it's fair to rate someone that you don't know very well on factors that you don't know in that sense.
So you do what you can and you take it like that. But I'm just saying, I think it's important to also hear their other stuff. And, I don't want to sound too harsh with some of my ratings, but if it just doesn't do anything for me, it doesn't do anything for me. And I think it's important to be honest with this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Because otherwise, what's the point of us being here?
No, exactly. And I think that's what's good about this show, to be honest, about that the three of us. We are very honest. We don't want to lie, and we don't want to be able to push something that, for example, we really like because we like the sound of it. We want to look deeper than that. We want to look at what behind all of that. And I think it's good that we're looking at songs that are very much on the pop alternative side, or even on the garage rock side, or even on the high heavy metal side. It's elements. They're all different genres that we don't really know all very well, and we're pushing our boundaries, which is important.
It's so true. I mean, like, Yeah, I mean, you look at the past kind of episodes and stuff, and there's been such a range in terms of the rock spectrum across it. And it doesn't really matter if you're a band that's in the charts and selling millions of records or getting millions of streams and that, or some band that we've randomly stumbled across with like 20,000 listeners and things like that. You're going to get honest feedback about it, and that's what's good, isn't it? So hold the successful people to account, just because you released it. Doesn't looking at you with data, remember, just because you released it doesn't mean
you were the data member. I think straight away as soon as the episode started, you went, that was shit.
Wait till I fuck you money.
Fuck you money.
That's what it is. They just want the fuck you money. It's so true. These sort of fans, I think so.
Yeah, we do hold them account though. I think that's important too, because in the end we know their history. We've grown up with the bands like that, and I think it is important to hold them account. But those bands that we don't know very well, we kind of have to give the benefit of the doubt in that sense.
Yeah, but like again, if you're just another band that does a fun party rock song, because there are many fun party rock songs, not just in the heavy metal sphere, kind of like in the butt rock sphere. Like, I don't know, you were talking about things that you put on at a house party with your friends, and I remember when we were Ben and Josh's old place, and we sort of had like Let the Bodies Hit the Floor and like those kinds of songs, or like, I don't know, The Offspring. I don't even remember if we had The Offspring, but that kind of stuff, like Give It To Me Baby, that kind of stuff. It's like, that's the same thing to me, but it was 20 years ago and they've already done it and it's fine. Like, you don't need to do it again.
Yeah, no, you're
Which
right.
is why I give it a 5. But also, I feel like you have to look at the scale, and I think my 5 was probably one of the lowest, if not the lowest rating that we've given so far.
Thanks for reminding Mike. Oh, shot. The kill shot.
But I'm just saying, a 5 is still halfway on the scale.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's got elements
of
being
below
good.
that.
You'd
have to be really terrible, Like, I don't know if I'd rate Paris Hilton's song, that first thing I could come up with from 15 years ago, whatever it was called. That's like a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's some tracks on the radio now I just think, bloody hell, this is like, it's catchy and all, but it's awful. And I'm like,
a podcast just shit songs. And we'll just
that's a great shout.
From the charts.
You've got to get the worst rating instead of the highest rating.
Yes, I love that. That's a great shout.
Yeah, but the thing is, if we choose some of the pop artists, like the big pop artists, I'm just going to jam to them. Let's be real.
You got to go for shit. You've got to go for really shit. I reckon, like Broken Side level shit. Do you know what I mean?
See, but Broken Side was actually revolutionary, because if you listen to Broken Side, but if you listen to Broken Side genuinely, and then you listen to sort of Migos and that kind of rap now, they're basically just copying Broken Side with a bit less screaming. Or like XXX Tentacion, those kinds of artists. And of course, he died a few years back, but they were basically like Broken Side. So don't Broken Side.
Right, so I want to close off the show. I want to say thank you everyone for listening, and cheers guys for coming. This is really fun. I think we listened to some really good tracks today. Some tracks not as great, but I feel like we're starting to get into our groove now, and I feel like we're getting deeper into the music every time we listen to it. Yeah. But cheers for coming on, and we'll see you guys next week.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.